Lala. We're talking about Wizkid on the record Billionaires Club. You may have to now say what you wanted to say, but maybe you won't. Maybe you will. But yes, back to Olamide and Wizkid, still on Olamide and Wizkid actually, on the record Billionaires Club with that call. Before then, they had Kai. And before then, they've had 4 songs together. Number one, Omo To Shan in 2011,
I thought it's 4.
2016. Omo To Shan, yes, I'll tell you. Omo To Shan in 2011. And then they had, what's the name again now? They had Kana as well. And then they had, I forgot the name of this song. Ori mi ba mi ṣe o.
Okay.
Owó tuntun wọlé.
Yeah, I know the song.
Yeah, that song. They had that as
Okay,
well.
I mean, you mean songs that
Yeah,
they put
songs together. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
The other ones were, I think
Wizkid,
there was the
Olamide,
one.
Omo To Shan. They had the one, Confirm Me. That's the name.
Yeah.
There's Confirm Me, there's Kana, and then they had Totori with Adi Kabasa in
Yeah,
2019. That is 4. And then 5, Kai, and number 6, they have Billionaires Club. 6 songs together between these guys. And I dare say 6. 6. Now, they actually are, 2 of the guys that collaborated the most in Afrobeats history. Like 2 of the guys that have collaborated the most, together in terms of collaborations. There are 2 of many guys that collaborated together before, in Afrobeat.
When you want to put Olamide and Fino now, when you mention
Yes, no, Olamide and Fino they had the what's the name? They had an album together, Two Kings, I know. So shout out to Olamide and Fino on that one. But Wizkid and Olamide actually have songs together. That has gotten fans to say, you know what? If Olamide and Wizkid put up a joint world tour today, we will be there no matter what, flying from country to country to see what these guys have for us. Now, 6 songs. Olamide and Wizkid joint world tour. Would it be a good move or a bad move? Are they primed for it? What does it do for the world of Afrobeats?
First of all, I want to borrow somebody's words. I saw something similar. I mean, what you just said now, I think it was Bankude who made a post today.
Yes, I saw the post.
You saw the post, right?
Someone said, vivid imagination. I mean, it's just an imagination.
That's exactly what this is vivid imagination, because it's not in our, I think people are too, the word is not selfish, but people are too too self-oriented. I know it ends up being selfish, but people are too
About
too much
themselves.
about themselves, too much about themselves to want to do a joint thing with anybody. Apart from that, logistics wise, I don't think, because this requires the sync between Wiz's team and Olamide's team, right?
So why not? If they made songs together that much, why wouldn't they sync?
Okay,
why shouldn't they sync together?
Yeah, but they have different timelines of what they've planned. These guys, or a brand as big as Wizkid, for example, now, or with an international label, they plan ahead for the next 2 years. They know the things that they plan to do, right?
Yeah.
And that's between them and Wizkid, right? It would take 2 artists who are independent, of a label, right? If Wiz was independent of a label, he's not with Sony, right?
Yeah.
He runs his own thing. He just has, partnership with all these guys, and he doesn't have to answer to anybody who funds, gives advances. If he's that kind of person, no problem. But I don't see how it comes about with Wiz being in the situation where he is with Sony, and Olamide being a label boss, driving YBNL with the partnership with Empire.
Yeah.
When was the last time Olamide was on tour? Olamide has not been touring. He's been focused more on the label side, being a label
of things,
more than, in fact, at one point he said he retired. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, before Ikigai and these other ones. So I don't see it happening. It's vivid imagination, like the response was. If it happens, if it does happen, will it be a good idea? I'll say yes, because these two, who not, if not these two, can be the one to show the younger ones that you can actually collaborate and go on tour together.
Yeah.
It's not in the Nigerian artist DNA since time immemorial that you guys are gonna we can talk together. The where it stops is joint album, that or joint projects.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it has ever stopped.
Even the joint projects, how many have they done in the past couple of years?
Exactly. That's why sometimes I even respect that Bujo and Ruga try
Man,
to do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Even that again, I'm saying through the whole that was again, I don't want to say it because maybe I know it, I don't know it, but I have a feeling they were both paid to do that. That's what I have a feeling. Yes.
Empire.
Whether it's Empire, I don't know. That's what they feel.
Yeah.
That these things are not it's not like they happen naturally, right? And I don't know if that's a bad thing for people to get paid to do joint albums.
No, it's business.
And if somebody pays for Olamide and Wizkid to do a joint tour together,
Oh, yeah.
I think it would be good. Even
Yeah.
the people that were bands found it tough to even go and tour together. More hits at one point when they had that
Yeah.
comeback. We're going to have a tour, blah blah. None of that materialized. Davido says it a lot. "Oh,
And
I'm
the
going to have a tour.
famous Wizkid tweet or the famous
We're
Wizkid
going on
post.
tour.
Me and Davido are
Today,
going
no,
on
go tour.
tour,
Now we are saying
eating your
about Chris
coins
Brown, and I'm
and
sure
everything.
that's not going to come to pass. I'm
Is it
sure
David and Chris Brown, yeah?
yeah, he said that we're going to have a joint album with Chris. After this is this. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen. And touring is just taking it to the next level.
Is a lot of
Do you think it's really possible?
David and Chris Brown?
No. Touring, like
Uh, well, I think touring is a different kettle of fish. Like you said, if it's an album or a project, it's just they can be in different countries and be sending data, across the web and email and everything. But touring, you have to be there. Like it is not you don't tour virtually. If touring virtually was possible, maybe, but making music, you can make music virtually. You literally, Davido at the listening for five said he had not met Louder before, the guy that produced the 10 Kilo song. He had not met him before in his life. You understand? And he produced a song on the album. They met for the first time at the listening. So making music together, of course, virtually, anybody can do it. But if they are to tour together, you have to be there. That's why I agree with you that touring is a different thing entirely. You have to stop everything you're doing to tour. But while you're making music, you can definitely, do other things and, try to. So that's just how, that's just what it is. So I believe that Olamide and Wizkid join tour. While I think it will be good for Afrobeat, while I think it will make it's a statement. It's going to make a statement. It's going to show other young artists that it can be done. It may also even start a movement where people, in Nigeria, and let me not even, no disrespect, we like follow well, very well. If Wizkid and Olamide if they do this tour, for example, if it happens, people will start saying, oh, let's go and talk together. Let's go and talk together. It should now become a thing. Everything becomes a thing in Afrobeats in Nigeria. Once one person starts it, everybody wants to follow that direction again. I'm a piano. Guru, guru, everybody, I'm a piano. Hey, everybody want to do this one. So if Wizkid and Lamide can give themselves that honor of becoming the pioneers of joint tours in Afrobeats, it would not be bad at all. They would they will put their they will put their name in the sands of time to say Afrobeats joint tours, was made popular by Wizkid and Olamide, and that is in 20, 30, 40, 50 years time when it becomes a major, major thing. They will say, who were the people that started it, that made it a thing? Oh, Wizkid and Olamide. So I kind of think that that's another way they should also look at it. It's an opportunity for them to set something for the coming generation, to also set an example for the guys of Dumodu Black, Buju, and the likes who are coming to say, you know what, I'm a young artist. I've got just 2 or 3 songs. Why don't I partner with 2 more artists and let's do, a trifecta kind of thing, tour, instead of me going alone? Why can't I? Like you said, selfishness is also one of it. Self-aggrandizement is also one of it. Wanting to take the spotlight alone. is also one of it as well. So it's a lot. But if these guys are able to set that example, it would they will put their names, in the in the books of in the gold books, basically. But is it
This
going to
takes me
happen?
to what's his
I
name?
doubt it.
This recent interview where what's this guy's name? The guy who did a song with Davido and Chris Brown. What's his name?
Loj.
Loj. When he talked about this actually, and it does make sense. He said, some of these artists, especially the ones who are not even at that level yet, everyone wants to go on tour together. I mean, they want to go by themselves and
By
go and pay
themselves, yeah.
1,000, 2,000. But why can't you guys go together
Yeah.
and then pulling your own resources, But if you can do it alone, it's the best because you make the most out of it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sometimes you have to
Yeah.
sacrifice that money
Yeah.
for impact.
For impact, yeah.
Yeah, you see,
That's
good luck.
anyways, we just hope that we hope it happens in our in our lifetime that guys start going on tours together. Olamide and Wizkid, uh what's the chance of it happening
Um,
in percentage?
percentage 10%, 10%,
Okay, I'll say
and
five
that's giving
percent.
them a chance.
I'll say
10%.
5%. I'll say 5%, and that's also giving them a chance. But
Yeah,
I'll be really, really happy if they can. They don't. Should I say they don't need the money? They need money. Everyone needs money. But I think that much more than money, it is it's a statement, an Afrobeat statement.
mm-hmm.
It's a culture statement, cultural movement, cultural pioneering that they will do. If Olamide and Wizkid goes on a tour, Lala, people will see the beauty. They will see the need to start collaborating for tour.
This is such
It
a
only
this is
needs
such a
one.
dope idea. Imagine Olamide and I know it's going to be stressful for them. Imagine Olamide and Whiskey say, "Oh, the top 5 cities in Nigeria.
Autant,
We want to give you guys, or let's just do
do you
Africa.
get?
Let's
Do
just
you
do
get?
Africa.
In
Let's go to
Africa,
Nigeria.
in Africa,
It's going to be mad.
do you get?
It's going to be mad.
Do you get?
Mm.
Wizkid live in Cape Town. Wiki Olamide live in Cape Town. Olamide live in Nairobi, in
And
Lagos,
I even
Nigeria.
I saw one tweet where
Do you
somebody said,
get?
"Oh, imagine Olamide goes to O2 Arena and he starts a show with Lady
Lady
Snare and
Snare and
Desmond
Desmond
Snare."
Snare. Yeah. You
And
get?
that's never happened to Olamide. It's not even that
You
kind of thing.
get? Imagine saying Wizkid and Olamide at the London O2 Arena.
Mm.
You get? But the problem, Lala, is agenda would always agenda. One thing you would hear is, oh, Wizkid is going down. That's why he needs Olamide to come to O2 Arena with him. Oh, Olamide does not have the fans. That's why he needs a Wizkid to come to Arena. So they are also listening to the fans. They don't want to be the smaller guy. Oh, Whiskey will help me. Oh no, Olamide help me. So everyone is, like you said, everyone is trying to form. I can do it on my own, but no, we've got to the point where collaboration is very, very key. You know, it's very key. Wizkid and Burna Boy are close. Why are we not having these two guys do Wiz and Burna world tour? Let them go and scatter the whole stadium and everything like that. What exactly would it cost? Them.
I
Everybody
think
wants to do it
maybe,
alone.
maybe we're even being too harsh. I don't know. Has there been any foreign acts that two of them or three of them have gone on tour together? Maybe we're just we're having unrealistic expectations.
I think people have gone on tour together. I think so. I think so. I not even think so. I know Drake has gone on tour with someone. I'm not too sure who now.
Was it like guest appearance or they were
No, no,
main
it was
main
like a proper show. It was a proper show. I can't get to my phone right now. But yeah, if you check online, American artists actually do joint tours together. Yeah, they do joint tours together. And I think that that's one thing that we also need to embrace in in Afrobeats. Yeah, well that's one thing we need to embrace
so
in
this
Afrobeats.
one then be husband and wife now. Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Jay-Z and Beyonce. Has Drake
Yeah.
ever gone? Has Drake ever gone on tour with with anybody?
Um Probably need a deeper search, but I can
Yeah.
see Kendrick Lamar and Caesar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Beyonce and Jay-Z, husband and wife. Who else? Yeah, it needs a deeper search. Let's just move on.
Okay, no problem at all. No problem at all. So yeah, Olamide and Wizkid, I think while there's a very low percent chance of it happening, it will be really, really good for it to happen.